Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today we have more Starfinder 2nd Edition RPG goodness. Today we're going to talk about Starfinder 2nd Edition Galaxy Guide. Your guide to the galaxy and beyond. Blast off into Starfinder 2nd Edition with a tour of adventuring locations all over the galaxy in this primer for new and experienced players and GMs. Galaxy Guide is packed with helpful tools for your Starfinder campaign, including 6 new playable alien species, including shape-shifting astrozoans, mega-brain contemplatives, and solar-winged Sarkeesians. 6 new archetypes representing the most powerful factions in the galaxy, including infernal Hell Knights and mystical Zeowardens. Exciting lore about new gods, current events, and important hotspots in the Starfinder setting, plus new character backgrounds. Double-sided poster map featuring the galaxy and packed world system is also included. This book was $59.99. So the reason I'm showing you this one today is because Gen Con has begun, and the official starting point for the new Player Core book has come out. I have not received my copy quite yet, but I wanted to go over the Galaxy Guide before, to get myself in the mood to play some more new edition of Starfinder. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Starfinder 1st Edition, so I'm always a little tentative when I hear about one of your favorite games switching over and changing, because again, I was a Starfinder fan, not a Pathfinder fan, but all of a sudden, now you can use Starfinder and Pathfinder and Starfinder because the rules are now aligned, which I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to enjoy that or not yet, but we're going to find out soon enough when I pick up the Player Core book. So in the meantime, I picked the Galaxy Guide, so let's go through this rather quickly because we don't have, I'm not going to be reading through this whole thing because the reality is there's a lot of information in here about the new world, and basically gives you a flavor about some of the changes that you'll see that changed from 1st edition to 2nd edition. Again, we're talking about a Galaxy Guide, your table of contents, all that stuff like that. So right off the bat, you start with your fluff, talking about the galaxy and how it happened. Gives you your calendar of events from starting point to now. You talk about Desna's path, and you talk about your adventures. Then we roll on to campaign starters, adventure hooks, encounter modes, exploration mode, downtime mode. You have Akaton, hotspots, culture, and important faces that you would find at Akaton. Then you have Aposte, which is another area that you can explore. Gives your history, culture, hotspots, important faces. Dagox 4, the Diaspora, Preluria, Versus. Again, all these seem to be set up exactly the same way. It gives you the title of the new location, tells you where their hotspots are, it tells you basically about the area that you're exploring, important faces, people that you're going to run into, the current events, what's happening right now in real time, culture, versus in campaigns, how to use them in the campaign. Then we have high-tech adventurers. We have campaign starters, adventure hooks. We have the encounter mode, exploration mode, and downtime mode again. The first ones, the last ones, Wreck of the Returned. You have augmented humans. You have world shards of Arshan. Talks about what it's like spending a day there. Current events, hotspots, again, the culture. You have an empty well, the well. How to use Arslan in campaigns. Then you have Avalon. You have a transcendent meliorism. There you go. A transcendent meliorism. Probably not pronouncing that correct, but it's a new character type that popped into the book. Again, Avalon and scenarios. Then you have your fantasy adventures. Again, like I said to you, you have the ability in which to combine Pathfinder and Starfinder. Again, I'm a Starfinder fan, so I'm not quite sure if I like to mix my fantasy with my science fiction. Not quite sure how I'm going to like that, but again, I'm going to check out I'm going to start with slow by just picking up the Player Core and see how that works out. Again, we're talking about the campaign, the hotspots, again, the culture, all these different characters I have here. Again, this takes on a very, very fantasy role thing. So again, as a diehard science fiction guy, I'm not that keen on that, you know. Using cash development campaigns, so we move through here. Then we have the Triaxis, the looks like the Tabrid Miner. Then, of course, you have getting back into the science fiction land. You're getting back into the Vesks, which are the Vesk warriors. So you have Vesk 8, again, the history, different main characters in here. And I also have Vesk, that is one of my characters I use on a regular basis when I do my Starfinder campaign. So great, great fighters. War-torn adventures. You have your Conqueror's Clash. You have Aslanti Star Empire. Near space aggressions. You have the Veskagarium. Then you talk about the Swarm. Again, this is the history of the breakdown of from year 0 to current day. Palavar Corrupted. Then you have Into the Unknown Adventures. You have the Gilead Edge. Jinsol Hierocracy. Then you have the Kasmerg's Absurdity. Again, just giving the highlights. Horror Adventures, the Eox. This is a Bone Sage. The Visionary. So you have the Calistocrat Mausoleum ships. So different kinds of ships that you can use. The Riven Shroud. That's a cool picture there. That's a really cool picture. Take a look at that. How to use a Riven Shroud in campaign. The Bretheta, which are weird adventurers. So again, going from Trilodeum. Again, just different worlds around the galaxy in Pathfinder. In Starfinder. Uovara. Again, these are all new characters, new worlds being explored in the 2nd edition. Brathu Cloud Chemist, Brathu Navigator. Again, Brathu were in 1st edition, so it's just expanding the background information about these characters. Ghost Levels. Salvation's End. Absalon Station. The Adari. The Second City, Mr. Digset, Twilight Eatery. Gives you information here about the city. So the Second City, it says here, Settlement 16. Metropolis, government, population, languages, religion, threats, enemy, entry point. Benincatus, Mr. Digseg, Hadal, Irene, Paramount, Ravi. Important people in the city. Again, these are all just locations throughout the galaxy that you can add into your campaign. You have Starlance, a day in Starlance, Ducati, different backgrounds. So different backgrounds that your characters can put on. So you have arena veterans, bartenders, bouncers, courier, a convict, a junker, a fisher, a hustler, a hacktivist, a fixer, a hitchhiker, a salvager. All different traits that your characters can now take on in background traits. So you want to be a Starlance. Getting different characters that you can take on, background information. Lots and lots of background information. Create new characters. Now we have here the factions in the galaxy. You have the Abadar Corp. Okay. The Abadar Corp. Abadarcorp. So you can be that. You can be free captains. A space pirate. Hell Knight. Knights of Calarian. And the different things that you can, different feats you can take on with each of these characters. So it's a lot of different things here. So it gives you basically an understanding of the structure. So all these are laid out exactly the same way. So we talk about let's start back here again. The factions in the galaxy. Okay. So again, we talk about the history, the goals, the structure, the operation, divisions, the resources. It talks about that. Then here you have your different feats that you can take on. You can have feat 2, feat 4, feat 4, feat 4, corporate speak, sales pitch, according to my calculations. It's who you know, who you don't, who I work for, maximize profits. These are all different feats your character can take on. So free captain says here, edicts, anathema, headquarters, allies, enemies, major NPCs, history and the goals of these characters, the free captains. Again, structure, operations, resources, crews. Give me a second, guys. I just have to plug in my charger real quick. It just said I'm just running out of juice here. So give me a second here. I have to grab my cord and plug it in real quick. There you go. We're up and running yet again. And again, so you have the resources, your crews. Then you have your space pirate here. Your space pirate dedication, your broadside charge, your pirate's pirate, your press gang the soul, feature 8. Feat number 8, you have your Hell Knights. Again, it's broken down. All of them are broken down the same way. It gives you a little background information here. It gives your history, your goals, your structure, operation, your resources, your orders. Hell Knight, how do you become a Hell Knight? What are some of the new feats that includes? Well, that includes Hell Knight dedication, disperse, infernal bulwark, infernal ornaments, Hell Knight orders, order the chain, order the crucible, order the eclipse, order the pyre, unleash hell, feat 14. So it says you need to have Hell Knight dedication frequency once per day. It says requirements: wearing armor customized with Hell Knight regalia. Your armor unleashes a gout of hellfire in a 30-foot cone, dealing 1d6 damage per level of a type determined by your chosen Hell Knight order. Basic reflex save against higher of your class DC or spell DC. A creature takes spirit damage. Instead of that would be more detrimental as determined by the GM. So again, here we also have Knights of Galarian. So again, artwork is fantastic throughout the book. You have the Starfinder Society, of course. You have your history, your resources, operations. You have your Xeno Wardens, Xeno Druids, minor factions that you can have. Lots and lots of stuff in this book. Ancestries, Astrozoan heritages, Astrozoan ancestry feats. Again, these are different types and classes and characters that you can now start to create in your Starfinder world. And different levels, you get more feats. The higher let you go, the more feats that you're able to gain. You have contemplative. You have a picture there. You have your heritage. You have your ancestry feats. If you want to be one of these characters in your game again. You have your Dragonkin heritages. If you want to be a Dragonkin now. Again, fantasy, science fiction. So you see that they're starting to blend the two together in this right off the bat that I'm starting to see. Again, more of the fantasy than it is the science fiction. Callow. Callow hails from a watery moon orbiting Brethda. These aquatic humanoids have art and creativity at the center of their culture, and they employ fluid fighting styles in combat. All right. Again, Kalo heritages. Again, more feats that you can get with these characters. Again, there's so much information in this book. This is just an overview of what's in the book. I'm not giving you rules. I'm not giving you anything of that. Again, this is all being changed over now from first edition to second edition. And this was really, they gave you the playtest rules, but this was the first official book that they released for the second edition, which is Galaxy Guide again. And again, Sarsesnian. Sarsesians are natural spacefarers who guide through the void of space on butterfly wings of energy and light. So if you want to be a character that looks like this, you can now do so. You can be a Sarsesian now if you want to. The different feats that he can have, or they can have, should I say. Then you had the Valaka. Valakas are wolf-like nomads whose thick fur coats help them survive in the frigid cold, as it is on their home world of Lajok. They have an incredible sense of smell and are often born deaf, blind, or deafblind. So let me just take a step back real quick here. Let's do that. Those. Okay, let me just read that for you real quick. This is a contemplative. Shaped by countless generations' pursuit of mental self-perfection, contemplatives have huge brains equally suited to math and magic. Their natural telekinesis propels them through the air as their measured curiosity drives them to discover and innovation. That tells you a little bit about that character there. Again, you have the Dragonkin. Let's see what it says about them. Draconic in appearance and fiercely loyal, Dragonkin are deeply empathetic beings capable of forming a nearly unbreakable spiritual bond with one other creature, which manifests its telepathic communication and tactical synergy. Okay. So you can be a Dragonkin now. But before you were not able to, now you can. Again, the Kylo. Kylos hail from a watery moon, which we read that already. So we're going to move on from that. These, again, are the different classes of creatures that you can now become. Sarcesians, we read that already, which are the big butterflies. We got that. And Valaka, we read that as well. Wolf-like nomads with thick fur coats, we read that as well. That would be a picture of a Valaka. Kind of looks like a big wolf to me. Okay. Again, you have all your feats ranging from 1st level to 5th level, all the way up to 17th level. So it's a lot of information there. And again, all the good people who brought you everybody from Paizo who bring you everything about the players in the Galaxy Guide that we have here. Again, your Galaxy Guide your guide to the Galaxy and Beyond, brought to you by the great people at Paizo. Love Paizo. Love what they're doing. I'm just a little concerned as a consumer. Again, Starfinder to me is by far my favorite role-playing game, probably that I've played in the last 20 years. Now they're moving into the 2nd edition, so I'm hoping it's not that radically changed. I hope it's improved. Certain things, especially where it comes to starship combat and things of that nature. But I'm really hoping that the core of what made Starfinder remains intact, and that basically doesn't become a Pathfinder in space, because then I'm really going to be disappointed. Anyway, moving on, we have Paizo. For more information about all things Starfinder, from their maps to their tiles to their all the great stuff that they have to offer for their games, for all the pawn sets that we've unboxed here. For more information, go to paizo.com/Starfinder. Again, this was just a quick look through of the Galaxy Guide. Again, the Player's Core is coming out soon. The GM Core will be quickly following after that by end of the year, along with a couple of new scenarios and books and things of that are also going to be released through Paizo. Keep an eye on their website, paizo.com/Starfinder, for all things Starfinder and Pathfinder. And as always, this is everything that's included, and this concludes our unboxing of Starfinder 2nd Edition Galaxy Guide for the Starfinder 2nd Edition role-playing game, brought to you by Paizo. For more information, go to paizo.com/Starfinder. As always, thank you so much for joining us for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, you could always give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. You could also hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to any time we release new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be well, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next unboxing video.